Welcome back to our channel, your ultimate source for everything happening in Genoa City. Today is a beautiful day to dive deep into the emotional currents of our favorite characters. Grab a cup of coffee and settle in, because we have a massive, detailed exploration of what is coming next for one of the most complex couples on daytime television. Let us get right into the heart of the story. The harrowing and explosive nightmare in Las Vegas has finally come to a close. But the psychological shockwaves of Matt Clark's terrifying reign of terror are still reverberating deeply within the minds of those who survived it. For Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson, the physical danger may have passed, but the emotional battlefield is only just beginning to reveal itself. Returning to the familiar, sophisticated surroundings of Genoa City should have brought an immediate sense of peace and security. But the transition back to normalcy is proving to be a highly complex and deeply unsettling process. The sheer magnitude of what they endured in the Nevada desert, the kidnapping, the agonizing uncertainty, the ticking bomb, and the desperate, life-saving phone call Chelsea made to Victor Newman has fundamentally altered the dynamic between them. Now, as the dust settles and the adrenaline fades, Adam and Chelsea are forced to confront the lingering shadows that followed them home, setting the stage for one of the most crucial and defining conversations of their entire relationship. At the very center of this impending emotional confrontation is the undeniable resurrection of Adam's dark, calculating alter ego, the Spider. Las Vegas has always been a dangerous psychological trigger for Adam, serving as the birthplace of the Spider persona during a time when he was entirely disconnected from his Newman identity and drowning in amnesia. The recent chaos orchestrated by Matt Clark forced Adam to tap back into that ruthless, hyper-vigilant mindset in order to survive and protect his brother, Nick. However, turning off the Spider persona is not as simple as boarding a private jet back to Wisconsin. Chelsea, who knows Adam better than anyone else in the world, can undoubtedly see the subtle, lingering traces of the Spider in his eyes. She notices the distant, brooding stares, the tense posture, and the emotional walls that have instinctively gone up as a defense mechanism against the trauma they just endured. Chelsea is acutely aware that if Adam does not actively process this trauma, the Spider could completely consume the man she loves, pulling him back into a cycle of darkness and isolation. Complicating this fragile psychological state is the toxic poison planted in Chelsea's mind by Reza Thompson. During the height of the crisis in Las Vegas, while Adam and Nick were walking directly into Matt Clark's deadly trap, Chelsea was left in a hotel suite with Reza, a woman who has a deep, complicated, and highly transactional history with Adam's Spider persona. Reza, operating from a place of bitter resentment and calculated manipulation, made a deliberate point to undermine Chelsea's confidence in her relationship. Reza painted a picture of Adam as a chronic player, a man who is inherently incapable of settling down, and a restless soul who will always crave the dangerous thrill of the game over the quiet comfort of domestic life. Riz's words were designed to inflict maximum emotional damage, and despite Chelsea's fierce outward declaration that she is Adam's present and future, those toxic seeds of doubt have undoubtedly taken root in her mind. Chelsea Lawson is a woman who has spent her entire life navigating the treacherous waters of deception. As a former con artist, she possesses a highly tuned radar for manipulation and betrayal, yet her profound, all-consuming love for Adam has always been her greatest vulnerability. The insecurities awakened by Riz's taunts are not easily dismissed. Chelsea finds herself silently analyzing Adam's every move, wondering if his current emotional distance is a symptom of his trauma or a confirmation of Riz's malicious claims. Does Adam truly want the stable, committed family life they are trying to build with their son, Connor, or is there a part of him that misses the unattached, reckless freedom of the Spider? This internal struggle is tearing Chelsea apart, and she knows that she cannot continue to build a future with Adam while carrying the suffocating weight of these unspoken fears. She needs absolute clarity, and she is preparing to demand it. Adding an intense layer of emotional complexity to their impending conversation is the shocking news currently rippling through Genoa City regarding Sally Spectre and Billy Abbott. The revelation that Billy and Sally are officially engaged, coupled with the profound secret that Sally is pregnant, serves as a massive emotional catalyst for both Adam and Chelsea. For Adam, Sally Spectre is not just an ex-girlfriend, she is a woman with whom he shares a profound, tragic history. The news of her pregnancy will instantly and violently pull Adam back to the devastating loss of their daughter, baby Eva. The grief of losing a child is an open wound that never truly heals. And hearing that Sally is now expecting a child with Billy Abbott, a man Adam has historically despised and competed with, will undoubtedly trigger a tidal wave of unresolved sorrow, regret, and complex mourning. Adam's reaction to Sally's pregnancy is something Chelsea will be monitoring with intense scrutiny and deep empathy. She knows how completely the loss of Eva shattered Adam, and she understands that his grief is entirely valid and necessary. However, as a woman battling her own freshly ignited insecurities, Chelsea will also be looking for reassurance that Adam's emotional reaction is purely about the loss of his daughter and not a lingering romantic longing for Sally. Adam will need to navigate this conversation with extreme care and absolute honesty. He must articulate to Chelsea that while he genuinely wishes Sally well and hopes she finally gets the beautiful family she deserves, his heart belongs entirely to Chelsea. He will need to explain that mourning the future he lost with Ava does not diminish the profound gratitude and love he feels for the future he is currently building with Chelsea and Connor. This raw, vulnerable exploration of grief and moving on will naturally transition into a deep evaluation of Chelsea and Adam's own future. The news of Billy and Sally's engagement will inevitably force Chelsea and Adam to look at their own relationship status. They have been through the fires of hell together, surviving kidnappings, psychological breakdowns, and near-death experiences. They have proven time and time again that their bond is unbreakable, but they have also experienced the bitter sting of failed marriages and broken promises. With Billy and Sally rushing toward the altar, Chelsea and Adam might feel a subtle and spoken pressure to define their own commitment. Are they content to simply coexist as partners and co-parents, or do they feel the profound need to solidify their survival and their renewed love with a formal declaration of marriage? This is not a matter of competing with Billy and Sally, but rather a moment of profound introspection brought on by the sudden realization of life's incredible fragility. Las Vegas taught them that everything can be taken away in the blink of an eye. The ticking bomb in Matt Clark's bunker was a brutal reminder that tomorrow is never guaranteed. In the quiet intimacy of their Genoa City penthouse, Chelsea and Adam will sit down to discuss whether they are ready to take that terrifying, beautiful leap of faith once again. A conversation about remarriage will require them to confront their past failures head-on, acknowledging the toxic cycles that previously tore them apart and outlining the new, mature boundaries that will ensure their success this time around. Adam will have the perfect opportunity to completely dismantle Reza Thompson's lies, looking Chelsea in the eye and promising her that the spider is dead, and that the only thrill he seeks is the privilege of waking up next to her every single day. Furthermore, the topic of Sally's pregnancy will inevitably open the door to a deeply sensitive and monumental discussion about expanding their own family. Chelsea will undoubtedly wonder if Adam's renewed grief over baby Ava has awakened a desire to have another child. Does Adam feel an empty space in his heart that he hopes to fill with a new baby? And more importantly, is Chelsea ready and willing to embark on the journey of pregnancy again? Bringing another child into the chaotic, high-stakes world of the Newman family is not a decision to be made lightly. They must consider how a new baby would impact Connor, who has already endured so much emotional upheaval and trauma in his young life. Yet, the idea of creating a new life together, a physical manifestation of their healed, resilient love, could be the ultimate beacon of hope they need to finally close the dark chapters of their past. Chelsea will need to express her own desires and fears regarding motherhood. She has fought incredibly hard to achieve her current state of mental and emotional stability, and she must weigh the beautiful prospect of a new baby against the potential risks to her well-being. Adam, in turn, must prove that he is fully present, endlessly supportive, and completely detached from the reckless impulses of his past. He must assure Chelsea that if they choose to walk down the aisle again, or if they decide to welcome a new life into their home, he will be the steadfast, reliable partner she deserves. He must verbally and emotionally sever all ties to the Las Vegas underworld, proving that Riz's assessment of him was nothing more than the bitter rambling of a woman who never truly understood the depth of his capacity for love. As the May sweeps period approaches, this pivotal conversation between Chelsea Lawson and Adam Newman promises to be a masterclass in emotional storytelling. It is a moment of profound reckoning, where the ghosts of Las Vegas, the tragic memory of baby Ava, the toxic whispers of Reza Thompson, and the startling news of Sally and Billy's future all converge in one singular, defining dialogue. By keeping the lines of communication radically open and brutally honest, Adam and Chelsea have the opportunity to forge a bond that is stronger, healthier, and more resilient than anything they have ever experienced before. They are no longer the broken, manipulative people they once were. They are survivors who have chosen each other against all odds. Whether this conversation leads to a new diamond ring, a positive pregnancy test, or simply a quiet, unbreakable promise to cherish every moment they have together, one thing is absolutely certain. Chelsea and Adam are ready to face the future, hand in hand, leaving the darkness behind them once and for all.